If you haven't ever heard of the Eurovision, then I want to start off by saying I envy you greatly. The Eurovision is a multinational song contest, and I use that term very loosely, which began back in post-World War II Europe. It was set up by the European powers of the day to create cultural bonds on the continent and avoid a reoccurrence of a, let's say, troubled recent past. The competition has since then devolved into something indescribably bad on so many levels. Here are a few reasons why. This year's Eurovision is to be held in May in Tel Aviv. What's that, you say? You're telling me that Tel Aviv isn't even in Europe? Well, you'd be right. Tel Aviv is the capital of the host country, Israel, slap bang in the middle of Asia Minor. What used to be about bettering relationships between states and continental Europe has become more about international alliances between powerful countries looking to enhance their political and economic influence. You only need to watch the teaser video for this year's event in Tel Aviv to realise the organisers are trying to advertise a nice place to go on holidays to, rather than highlighting any important social issues in modern Europe. Where's the video depicting the distress North and West African communities in inner city Paris are under, or the communities in the Eastern Bloc decaying from rampant unemployment? Where are the videos dealing with the discrimination faced by Muslims migrating to Europe? Nope. Look at these snowy mountains and these sun-washed shores and good-looking people enjoying the pleasantries of high-class city life. I mean, Australia are even contestants these days. There aren't too many nations further away in Europe than Australia. I mean, the people overseeing the contest really couldn't care less. In Ireland, an open letter has been sent by prominent LGBT campaigners to try and convince our representative Sarah McTurnan to boycott the contest because they feel the Israeli government is cynically supporting the LGBT community as a means of whitewashing their oppression of the Palestinian people. As I've said before, this contest is no longer about the good of the people. The Eurovision has produced some great acts in the past. ABBA came to prominence by winning the contest in 1974. Bucks Fizz came from the Eurovision, not that I'm their biggest fan, but still. Even Celine Dion gained international acclaim after winning the contest in 1988 while representing Switzerland. The quality of music on display in the Eurovision today leaves a lot to be desired, and that's putting it mildly. I unfortunately can't play any of these gems for you, as my video will get copyright claimed. I would encourage you though to seek out the song that I am currently commentating over, of a woman on stilts from Australia who sounds like she's being tickle tortured or something. What I can play for you though is the performance from Israel's winner last year, which was... well, have a listen. My personal favourites though are the cringe acts that the Eurovision has consistently produced over the last 2 decades, which sound like they're written by 5-year-old children.
The world is a beautiful place. Clap your hands! Come on, people!
Honestly though, the most shameful examples of Eurovision music are the acts manufactured to reflect whatever's hot in the charts these days. They lack any originality or purity for that matter. They are designed to appeal to the audience of the day, and that's it. Again, I unfortunately can't play this music. You can tell by the look on Bastile's younger brother's face here that if I even think about using the music, I will get in trouble. What I can do though, and legally, is mock it. It's just a soulless act, which sounds like a carbon copy of a Lewis Capaldi or a Codaline song, of which the Eurovision is riddled with. I'd rather listen to Ahina and Heat.
I don't know, leave me alone, I just keep answering politely.
The voting trends of the Eurovision is perhaps the most damning confirmation that this facade lacks any authenticity whatsoever. The voting system goes as follows. Points are distributed 1 to 8 and then 10 and 12 pointers are awarded. Each country gets 2 sets of votes. One from what is meant to be an independent professional jury, and the other set of points is awarded by the general public of each nation. Before the turn of the millennium, the contest was, mostly at least, about which act was the best. Irish people took great pride in that we were serial winners of the contest, winning it 7 times more than any other country, including a 5-year spell when we won it 4 times, all flex. However, in the early 2000s, and I know this because I used to watch the Eurovision annually with my family, a trend began to take place of neighbouring countries voting for each other, as if the naughties didn't already have enough cultural trends to be ashamed by. This trend has come to be known as regional block voting. So for example, Sweden will give 12 points to Norway, then 10, 8 and 7 to Iceland, Denmark and Finland. The Baltic countries all vote for each other. The countries in the Iberian Peninsula all band together, and so on and so forth. Some Egypts have suggested that this is due to countries of similar culture having similar tastes in music. You'd have to be as naive as an old lady replying to emails from Nigerian princes to believe that. This trend began as a calculated tactic by countries to try and win the tournament. You scratch my back and we'll scratch yours. There's great financial gain in winning the contest and then hosting it. This trend has put beyond any doubt that success in the Eurovision has nothing to do with musical merit and all to do with who is the best at making it click.
And the people in here dress like someone I know who was never very warm to me.
In conclusion, the Eurovision Song Contest is the biggest cultural farce known to man. What started off ostensibly as a genuine effort to loosen tension between war-scarred countries has devolved into a ghastly procession of geopolitical tit-for-tat. I would say that I hope it dies and never comes back, but if the Eurovision ever did have a heart or soul, it died decades ago.